What an incredible finish to the FPO side at Waco 2023. My heart is still pumping, but before we go any further, a disclaimer as always, there's gonna be heavy spoilers this time. So if you don't want to spoil anything for you, well, I warned you. We're doing something different this time. First I'm gonna go through a little bit about the round, and then we're gonna actually watch together the last 3 holes. The hole 16, 17 and 18. But first, we're gonna go into a little bit what happened like all around. Let's talk about the runner-ups first. So Sarah Hokom came 4th and Ohn Scoggings came 3rd. As I predicted, sidearm players did well, and that's exactly what happened. But then we're gonna talk about the main competition. We all knew going into the final round it was going to be down to Ella Hansen versus Kristin Tattar. And Ella Hansen led by 1 stroke against Kristin Tattar. It was pretty neck and neck. Ella Hansen started with 4 birdies in a row. Kristin had a slow start. Then Kristin got 5 birdies in a row, 4 through 8. So they were going neck and neck. But on hole 13, Kristin Tattar got a double bogey. And me and my wife and probably everyone who was watching thought that that was it. Ella Hansen is the winner. But then something happened. And that's exactly what we're going to watch now. I'm going to talk over the video, so just to heads up because I like talking, and I'm going to also go through what I felt as a viewer watching this. Sit back, take some popcorn, take some coffee, and let's watch the whole 16, 17 and 18 of the final round of Waco 2023. So here we are at hole 16. Ella's throwing before Kristin, of course, because Ella threw better in the previous holes than Kristin did. And it was a wide open field, so there wasn't a doubt in my mind that this is just going to be easy for Ella. But let's see what happened.
And this looks like it's tracking hard left. This could actually bring the parking lot into play, and unbelievable, Brian. We saw that roll out of bounds.
I made a joke before Ella threw that the only way Kristin would have a chance is to Ella to throw OB.
Yeah,
but I said that there's no chance that Ella's gonna do that. And then I just hope that Kristin threw inbounds. So we are actually gonna have a competition, and Kristin threw inbounds. So now I thought that okay, Kristin is going to get a couple of strokes because Ella was leading by 4. You have to remember. On hole 16, Ella Hansen was leading by 4 strokes. So there was quite a large hill to climb for Kristin Tattar. So Kristin just needed to lay up close enough and to secure the birdie and put all of the pressure to Ella Hansen. And as you can see, this is a relatively easy sidearm approach shot for Kristin Tattar, and that's exactly what she's going to do.
So Kristin again with an
but although Kristin has shot really badly throughout the weekend, so
at least 1 stroke on Ella. Will she take advantage? This is low. She's going to need it to catch edge and skip.
When the disc left from Kristin's hand, I was like, oh my god, that's low. But luckily she got a really good skip. And it's circle 1, so in a good day, Kristin will make those. And here we are. Ella is in a bit of a bad position because she needs to throw a weird hyzer with a relatively short run-up.
Course assets along with the parking lot right there behind her.
This should be easy for Ella. That was what I was thinking. That this is an easy shot. Unlucky for Ella, it caught up. It was too high, it caught up to the trees.
She had the power, just not the line.
So she just made everything more interesting. And now this is Ella's par putt. It's like really outside circle 2. Just laying up for the bogey, because again you need to remember Ella was having a 4-stroke lead over Tattar, so giving a stroke, 2 strokes there, she's still going to have like a 2-stroke lead, and there's just 2 holes after this hole.
question is,
And I
what would the
completely
exchange be like
understand that.
between her and
Many would
Kristin?
argue that why didn't Ella try? Well, she didn't need to. Four-stroke lead. And it was so far away that she could have made like things way worse. And this part, Kristin Tattar, circle 1. Before hole 16, Kristin had missed a lot of circle 1 easy putts that she usually makes. So I wasn't sure, and especially because this was an elevated basket, so I was really nervous for Kristin. Like, can she make it? And I have to say that I would have probably crumpled under pressure. And that's what I thought that Kristin would do, actually. Because she was just so inconsistent.
Looks like to be just inside circle's edge. Huge putt to cut the deficit to 2.
But she made it.
And she's
Funny
done it.
thing,
Kristin
I
Tattar.
actually couldn't watch that putt.
Birdie
I
on
turned away.
16
My
would
wife
be
told me
within
that she
2 of
made it.
Ella Hansen,
Because
with just 2
I was
holes
so
left to
nervous
play.
on Kristin's behalf that I turned away and plugged my ears because I couldn't watch it.
Val, the
Because I
most
wanted Kristin to make, I
unlikely
wanted
of
to be
places
a real
see
competition, but I
two-stroke
just
swings
couldn't
here
bear
on
to watch
hole
that putt.
16. We continue to talk about 17 and 18.
But then we go
even
to
hole
hole
15 with
17,
all the danger.
and I was
We
like,
never expected to see a
okay,
two-stroke swing.
there's a possibility.
Kristin
But then
and Ella.
on the back of my mind, I was
Kristin
like, yeah, but
buries
it's
the
still
putt
2 strokes, so
from
Kristin needs
circle's
to
edge.
have
She'll be
some
down 2 with
supernatural
2 to
luck
play.
for anything special to happen. I just prayed Kristin
Hansen,
to
78%
throw a decent shot. Not even a great
probability.
shot, just to throw a decent shot.
Tattar at 22%. On the last hole, it was listed at 94%. Kristin.
And what she did was surprised us all by throwing one of the best shots in this hole throughout the competition. I was really surprised to see that, especially because how unsure Kristin was during the last round.
In the first round, Ella Hansen landed where we just saw Kristin Tattar throw. Let's see if she can do it again. Leaves it low, leaves it too much to the right.
That's a good.
drive,
That's a
not
decent
great.
spot for Ella. Like Ella has
Certainly
the hand
advantage
to
Tattar
get to the basket.
off the tee of 17.
That was nothing drastic.
And if somehow you're just joining
Oh,
us,
here's some missed
recap
putts.
the
That's
last
circle
few
1.
holes. Kristin had an opportunity to pick up a stroke on Ella
Here's another one.
there on hole number 14.
So that's the reason why I was nervous from the putts.
Another chance
And
to
then
go.
this is the OB from Ella.
And the tee of
Look at
16,
how the
errant
wind
drive
just
by Hansen
trips the
carrying
disc.
OB
And the
left
roll up
on the wide
was
open
so
shot.
unfortunate.
Not able to get up and down. She's going to take a bogey 5. Kristin.
And for Ella, she is
And as you can see from this picture, like, okay, Kristin is in a perfect spot. Like, and especially because Kristin has a great sidearm, she could just like play it safe without overstable disc over the little water here. Ella Hansen is nowhere near like in a bad spot. She can also just throw a sidearm there, and like that's the play. You don't want to like try and do a turnover with a backhand. You just throw the sidearm, especially because Ella Hansen has a sidearm. So I was like, okay, so this is just make your shots. And Ella Hansen was the first one to throw because, well, she's behind Kristin Tattar. So she could put the pressure on Kristin Tattar.
On the left side of your screen.
goal. See from here. As much as she wants to get it close to the pin,
Just an easy touch
she needs
approach
to
shot.
focus in on keeping this inbounds.
Last year, Valerie Mandujano all but secured her victory with a great approach here. Can Ella Hansen do the same? This is pushing hard right. Brian, Brian, talk to us about that shot, and we'll.
That's still difficult to watch because that's how my sidearms look like. And that's the reason why I don't throw sidearms. I'm basically just copying James Conrad and throwing turnovers all the time. Because when I try to throw like sidearms with a force, they will always go nose up and just flare to the right. And it looked like it wasn't OB,
What kind of break she got?
and everyone thought that it wasn't OB.
She hit one of the overhanging
But
branches on one of
that's
the trees.
probably a really big relief for Kristin
By
Tattar.
getting knocked down into the fairway.
Kristin
Another
Tattar
opportunity for
going into the
Kristin
throw
to
because she
gain
knows that,
strokes.
okay, Ella effed up, so now there's a little bit less pressure, but it's still 290 feet to the basket. Oh, it's flaring up.
This needs to sit.
Ah, it's
And
just
it
on the edge of
does.
circle.
What may turn out to be one of the most important shots of
But there's water behind. I would be terrified putting that because there's water behind the basket. I don't know why, but I'm always petrified when there's like water behind the basket. Like, not for me. Nowhere. No way.
Giving us a glimpse of the possibilities out there if you've got the distance. She cannot.
Originally,
be
I
nervous
thought this
on
was
this upshot.
that it was inbound, but then I saw this. That's the OB line, and that's Ella's disc. So Ella actually threw OB, and this is her fourth shot. So it's gonna be another bogey, and I was like, okay, we're going to the last hole with just one stroke difference. That's gonna be great.
Brian, can you get a clarification? Is she in fact out of bounds down there?
Yeah, let me do some research. I'm standing at a place where it looked like she landed in bounds, but I'll get back to you if I hear otherwise.
I have to give Ella credit for throwing another sidearm, considering how bad the first one was, and this was awesome. The perfect sidearm.
And as good of a shot as she could have
Yeah.
possibly thrown from
But that
spot. She's
must have
picking up her
have,
disc
like,
from what looks like OB.
that
We
must
see
have
the
been
wall. We
so
also see the
nerve-wracking
white
to throw
painted
that
line.
sidearm,
And she
considering
was
the
between the two.
previous
I'm
sidearm
gonna
was
assume she was in
really
fact
bad.
out of bounds.
But that was like perfect.
And
That's how you
we
execute
consider that
approach
an
sidearm.
extremely lucky break if she were to stay in bounds. Yeah, just canned a clutch
And then
putt on
Kristin.
the previous hole.
For birdie.
The same distance we saw on the previous hole to tie it.
Ooh.
It slides out. Kristin, right side chain.
I remember yelling to the computer monitor that, oh my god, like Ella gave you the chance, Ella gave you the keys to the city, and you didn't capitalize it. I was like mad. Because that was again like a putt Kristin Tattar should make, so I was really furious.
The wind
And especially because there was no
almost
wind, as you can
calmed
see
that
from the flag.
sun
Like in the
today.
previous putts, you can understand that Kristin missed them because there was a lot of wind.
lot of chains
But
on that right-hand
that
side.
time there was
Clock
literally
next
no
to the
wind.
basket.
It's easy for me to like criticize these
See
pro
one
players from
stroke
sitting
swing.
in here, not being there,
Barring anything
battling for the win.
Crazy happening here on Ella's tap in.
And now Ella just tapping bogey. And Kristin will tap in the par. And it's they're going for the last
The only reason
hole.
I was calling her
with
basically
one
on the
stroke
in,
difference.
I thought she was literally within drop-in range. The fact
Yeah,
that
Kristin
she
will
still
tap in
had the
par.
edge of bullseye, you're exactly right.
And
Paul.
we're going
We've
to
seen
the last
crazier
hole.
things from inside 10 feet.
One throw
I thought
difference.
she just had the
And going to the last hole, one stroke difference, I want to emphasize. Kristin Tattar will throw first because Ella Hansen threw a bogey on the previous hole. So Kristin Tattar will throw first. That's an important mental chokehold you can have to your like competitor.
final hole. Looking for drama all the way to
All
the
right.
final hole. Kristin down
We were
to
arguing with my
Ella
wife,
Hansen.
like, should you go
Kristin
and throw
winners
over the
in
water,
Texas.
or should
Ella
you just lay up
hasn't taken
and
it
play
down
for the
against
birdie? And I
World
was like,
Series event,
I don't know, because
that all
Kristin
may change
is
in a
recovering
matter
from
of
the
minutes.
shoulder injury, so probably isn't the wisest idea to throw over the water. So we were really like
Kristin,
confident that she was
TF18.
going to lay up, and that's exactly what she did.
She's playing for the layup. She's
I
playing
think
for
that
the
was smart.
three. She's gonna put it
That was a
near
perfect
the
layup too.
pond's edge.
This is
Then we took a small break because we were waiting for the chase card to leave the basket area, the circle 1 area, because Ella Hansen was charging up to throw across the river.
Is a
Which again, I want to emphasize, like, this is a really casual shot for Ella. We've seen this in the previous rounds. This is nothing for Ella Hansen. She has more than enough power to easily throw across the small pond that is there. And I was like, yeah, I would do that the same. I would do the same if I was Ella Hansen. I would throw across the pond because I can lay up for a birdie, and that would secure the win. Like the right decision in my
Ella
mind.
does not need to attack the pin. She simply has to get it inbounds.
Just throw
set
across the
herself up. If she can birdie, she will win this tournament. Ella Hansen, hole 18, final round, the biggest shot of her career. She's pulled it right. That needs to stop before the OB wall.
This is, I feel really bad because I said to my wife, imagine if Ella did the same as Paul Macbeth did on the first round, which Paul Macbeth shot the exact same shot, straight to OB, yanked it. And at this point I was like, okay, started calculating in my head, like, okay, Ella can still get par. And if Kristin plays it safe, it's gonna go for a playoff. I was like, okay, this is one of the best finals I've ever seen. So the drama there, everything, like the build up for the last hole. But at the same time, because I like Ella Hansen as a player, I felt really bad. Like, she already shot 2 bogeys in a row. And now she threw an OB. I was like, this is destroying. This is devastating. This is hard because both of them are like my favorites in the FPO side, like Kristin and Ella. So this was hard to watch. I could feel the pain when the disc left your hand and it's going towards OP, and you can just see it go there. And you can do nothing about it.
Solid approach.
Like,
puts the pressure on Kristin, who will throw first, mind you. Throw. Not yet birdied the pin. If you hit at the pin, you're likely to skip long of the basket, and then you're putting back at the water.
I was 99% sure Kristin is going for a sidearm because the wind was from left to right, as you can see from the flags. And I was right. She's going for a sidearm.
Kristin needs the birdie.
That looked really bad, but it's again circle 1. But immediately here, I was like, she can't putt that. There's again my fear of water. And there's water behind the basket, and the wind is really strong. I was like, okay, she's probably gonna lay up. That's what I would have done. I would have, like, I would never risk that. I would never risk that.
Missed. Here on 18, she's gonna have 31 feet for the birdie.
And now all the pressure is on
I'm not
Ella.
going to talk about her putt yet because it's going to rely on what Ella does here.
All the pressure is on Ella because Ella needs to have a really good upshot still to get close to the basket.
Before it puts the pressure on Kristin to make that putt.
And now I'm gonna shut myself to let you see how this unravels. I'm just gonna enjoy it like you guys.
What it's like for Ella.
Or I might like say a few things from here to there, but
She's shaking. It's going to take a lot for her to calm down and focus in on this next shot.
There is OB left into the water.
This is a good time to remind, if you haven't subscribed, subscribe, like the video, and comment down below. Is this on your top 5 best finals ever? I would put this way there with Eagle and Macbeth battling in the Beast last year.
Or possibly take the victory outright. This is not an easy shot at all for Ella Hansen.
We should also do like live watch parties, right? We could do those. Like, of course we can't show live the competition itself, but we could just
hard that wind is blowing left to
talk
right.
live
So
on the
she goes
stream,
with
because
a
I
forehand
stream also, if you
and
didn't
gets it
know.
too high, it could carry her off
TikTok.com
into the
/
OB on the
Alicia.
right side, or put her out in circle 2.
Also sometimes on
If she
TikTok.
doesn't put enough on it, she could put it into the water.
I could do them all on YouTube too.
Unbelievable.
But yeah, the approach
She's gonna
now.
go to the backhand, and she needs to put this close. That's just to keep pressure on Kristin to make her putt. Short, low, left. Not a good attempt there by Ella Hansen. That is trouble.
I want to also say why this is trouble for Ella is like Ella needs to
Up
putt before
first
Kristin.
to putt.
So the pressure is still on Ella. I think this is the point where Kristin watched the U disc to see what's the situation, because she said that she actually didn't know that she had a chance.
Nervous in the past.
But yeah,
Nervous
this
to
is
make
outside
putts.
circle.
Today
Deep
has
circle
been
2.
Ella's day with confidence on the putting green outside the circle, but this is the biggest putt yet.
You can see the flag, the wind is blowing really heavily from left to right. Not an easy putt. That was really
It
good.
stops.
That was close.
Ella draws metal and it stops right next to the basket. That will be a tap-in bogey for Ella.
Now, Kristin needs to just lay up,
Kristin
and they will go to the
Tattar
playoff.
makes this putt, she will win the tournament. If she misses the putt, it pushes to a playoff.
Assuming it stays right there. There is danger directly behind the basket. Kristin Tattar will have to make a decision. Kristin getting a wind read. She is setting up. Kristin Tattar now maybe double checking scores. Instead goes to the bag. Contemplation. Kristin to win the Waco Annual Charity Open. She's done it. Kristin Tattar. Birdies.
Still my heart is
18,
beating. Like, I couldn't
taking down
believe
the
she
Waco
did
Annual
that.
Charity Open.
Like,
Getting past Ella
the
Hansen.
nerves.
Tattar goes
She's a
3
true
under
competitor.
in
Like,
the last 3 holes.
even if I'm a competitive person, but I would have laid up and go to the playoffs and hope to win there. But Kristin Tattar has
She gets
nerves of
past
steel.
Ella
Like,
Hansen,
to do that in that
overcoming her at
situation,
16,
water
17,
behind,
and 18.
like gust of wind going. Like,
Unbelievable.
I don't know how Kristin did it, and what a performance, especially for the first Pro Tour event.
Let me clarify. She has picked
Congratulations,
up 5
Kristin Tattar, and
strokes
congratulations,
in the
Ella
last 2
Hansen.
holes.
Like, I know
Down Ella
it
Hansen,
feels
who will come
bad.
up short and will not
She was so
claim
close,
her first
but
ever
Ella
FPO
Hansen can be
Series
really
win.
proud. And
Kristin
I have to
gets
say that
16 and
I'm looking
18
forward to
do
these
so.
battles more this season. I want these battles to be in every Pro Tour. Ella Hansen and Kristin Tattar battling it out.
Battle.
There's gonna be interviews from Kristin and Ella, but of course we're gonna watch Kristin hoist the trophy.
an
But then there's gonna be an
unbelievable
interview of Kristin
finish.
Tattar and Ella
I mean,
Hansen.
To bring it down to
And if
hole
you're wondering why
18
I'm talking
for
all
that
the time,
chance
well,
match
it's
to
because
play up. And
I need
see
to alter
Kristin Tattar
the
make one of the
original
most
material
clutch
to
putts I've
like
ever seen in
comply
disc golf.
to the fair use
To see her
laws
go
of the
back
United
to the
States.
bag,
So
grab
that's
a
the only
brand new
reason.
putter,
That's why I'm talking all the time, and also because I want to keep my 2 cents.
just absolutely
Like,
insane. Heart of
This
a
is like,
champion.
especially
Throw
Kristin missed
all
so
the
many easy
positive
putts,
words.
and then she goes and does this. Like,
Unbelievable way to win a tournament.
incredible. The first round of Kristin was like on point. Second round was bad. The whole of third round was bad except the 3 last holes. Oh, okay, she had the birdie run, but after that, like it looked like Ella was running off. And I have to say that this was the best disc golf I have watched in a long time. Since Beast. I think Beast was really good between Paul Macbeth and Eagle McMahon. But yeah, after that, like, it's been a while since I've seen battling like this. And it was between 2 of my favorite players from the FPO side.
From our champion down on the green of 18.
Ladies and gentlemen, your 2023 Prodigy presents Waco Annual Charity Open Champion, Kristin Tattar.
Incredible. Speechless. Like, if Ella won, I would be happy. Kristin won, I'm still happy. Like, I'm also sad because Ella, the way Ella lost. And as you can see, she's pretty devastated. But lucky for Ella, there's a lot of people that cares about her and is coming to make her feel better. Of course, there's nothing that can make her feel better, but at least there's like friends around her. And this is the best part of disc golf, like the community, people just being friendly and looking after each other. I feel really bad. Well, and this breaks my heart still. Like I almost cry. Well, I actually shed a few tears in the post tournament interview with Ella, which you will soon see. But first, we're gonna go with Kristin Tattar. And when Kristin starts talking, I'm gonna make myself disappear. So thanks for watching again. But you're gonna hear the interviews after this, because I'm pretty sure. Here we go.
What an incredible weekend of disc golf. After round 1, people were talking like the tournament was already open. Changed and things went a different direction. You did not lead at all in the final round until the final hole. Can you just give us your thoughts on the weekend in general?
I mean, it's one of the craziest wins I've ever had, because coming into the last hole, I didn't think I have any chance of winning. I didn't know the scores, and after I had made my upshot, like, then I checked the scores and I was like, Seth, I have a chance to win right now. Like, I didn't know that. And yeah, I already gave up at some point. I felt like I was like just like cruising, and I thought like I'm not like playing for the win. That's in my head. I didn't know. So yeah, and then I just saw I had to make the putt. So I was like, okay, focus now. Now's your chance, and I made the putt.
You hit some incredible putts on 17 and 18. Well, 18 more specifically. Did you feel anything different coming down this final stretch because of Ella kind of maybe slipping up?
No, I didn't feel like it, because I already thought that our gap was so big that I'm not gonna catch her. After I had taken my double bogey, then I missed like several putts in a row, and I was like, you cannot win like this. Like, but then I took a look at the scores, and I mean, it was right there.
Well, congratulations. What an incredible week, and we'll see you at the next one.
Thank you so much.
Want to say, despite the result, you put on such a show for an incredible FPO field and incredible crowd watching you play this entire weekend.
Yeah.
With that said, I got to ask you, what emotion are you feeling right now?
A lot. Different ones. Jesus.
It's okay. Take your time.
I'm really proud of myself for how I played. Jeez, sorry. I was super nervous all day, like all afternoon yesterday. And so to come out and shoot 4 down in the first 4 and just really stay in it, I was really proud of myself. Obviously, you know, bogey finish is tough, but I felt like I threw pretty good shots. I didn't feel like I, you know, I could have thrown them a little bit better, but I think for the most part, I'm proud of myself, and I kept it going for as long as I could. Obviously, Kristin's an amazing player, and she clutched up. She made a great putt on 18, and yeah, it was a fun battle. Yeah.
Well, you should be proud of yourself. The way that you're playing is elevating the FPO division to another level, and obviously we're going to see you out here again. We'll see you out there, Ella.
Thanks, Brian.